We're behind the scenes with ESPN today at the IU football complex. Last night was the night that IU beat Ohio State to win the Big Ten championship. I'm working for ESPN today. I'm doing the audio for the live hits that are going into the selection show happening in Bristol. So I've got my full Sound Devices 833 kit with Wisycom wireless, an MTH610, and an MTP61. We're going to go live into the camera, straight into a live view, onto Bristol. It's going to be great. I'm going to take you behind the scenes and we're going to see how it all goes. I really like these types of jobs because it's live, which is exciting to me. You're just mixing to make it sound great, to go straight to the air. Indiana is a really awesome place to be working in sports, and venues like this are part of the reason. You just walk around a place like this and you can just feel the history. Now, Indiana is, of course, not historically known as a football college. They're historically known for their great basketball program, but the football program is kind of making a wave right now. Very impressive what they've been able to do. Coach Cignetti has been amazing for this place. And you can really feel the energy in Indiana surrounding sports because you've got the Pacers, you've got the Fever, you've got the Colts, IU, Notre Dame, Purdue. So you can see they've got the graphics going on the screen outside with the Big Ten champion. Pretty cool stadium. So the way I have it set up in there is I use Matthews tabletop stands on just small light stands for my audio workstation. And then I have a portable stool that I use. As soon as I got in there, I scanned frequencies on my Wisycom MCR54. It was wide open. So there was no noise in any of the 900 range that I normally use. So that was awesome. Found clean frequencies just like that. And I have set up my MTH610 handheld with a ESPN mic flag, and that's going to be the primary. And then I'm going to put a COS11D going into an MTP61 on his suit as a backup. And I'm sending the audio to the camera stereo on a breakaway cable, one of those breakaway snakes that I use. It's really nice. It just breaks away right at the connection. It's very easy to manage. And then I plug that snake into the two XLRs. I make sure that the camera is set to line level, manual levels, and I get the levels right at -20. And then I take the headphone jack, plug that into my snake, and then on the other side of that snake, it's going into my left and right outs. And then the headphone return is going into my headphone return port on the 833. That way I can always listen to what's happening on the camera. So the way that the DP has this set up is pretty cool. He's got two LED Luxley lights that are nice and right in front of him. And then he's got a flag on top to get rid of some reflections. And then ESPN brings an iPad where they have the network return so that the talent can always see what's happening. So when ESPN provides a TVU case, they provide iPhones in that case. And that's the phone that the talent is using to call in to the network bridge so that he can hear all the producers and directors in his ear telling him what to do. And right away we did a sound check to make sure that they were getting audio and video via the TVU transmission. ESPN uses TVUs for all this transmission stuff. And basically it's my audio goes into the camera, and then the camera goes SDI into the TVU combined so that the audio and video is together. Plus there's a local monitor, a big monitor for the client to be able to see what it looks like. Just wanted to take a minute to encourage you in your freelance journey. It's tough, but I just want you to know that you need to stick with it, okay? If you know that this is what you need to be doing, and if you're finding even a small bit of success, it takes time. It takes time to build a career. It takes time to get brought in on different projects. It takes a lot of time to get to know the people in your city and get networked in to the things that are happening. So I just want to encourage you, okay? You know, if times are tough right now, stick with it, okay? If times are good, stick with it. Save that money because, you know, freelance is up and down and it's a wave. Right now, I'm kind of riding a wave that's pretty high, getting a lot of bookings, and I'm doing some exciting things. So just want to encourage you, okay? Stick with it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. I just upgraded from the Mix Pre 10 to the 833, and one of the things I really like about it is that I can run compression on board. So this is the perfect type of project where compressors are really going to come into play because this is live straight to air. I'm not recording any ISOs. So all this is going to do is it just needs to be nice and strong and loud and present when it transmits through the TVU. So this is perfect to make sure that I'm using compressors both on the channels and the main bus just to get it nice and loud and clear. Broadcasting is a lot of standing and waiting. Got in early, got set, did our checks, and we broadcast in about 20 minutes. So just waiting for the broadcast window to open, and then our guy will be on the air. So here's the IU football locker room. Right in here. So this is our set. On my audio table, I just like to have extra things ready to go. So this is my extra IFB supplies. These are extra lav mic supplies. Extra batteries for my transmitters. Cost 11Ds. I really like these CRD bags. This is the talent station. This talent desk is just a Matthews laptop stand, just like what I use for my audio over there. You find these a lot of time in network TV. They're set up right below where the talent needs to be so they can have a place to put their stuff. This is the view that our talent will have looking straight ahead. He looks straight ahead into the camera. It's not easy to be on TV. I can send you indent if you want to hear left and right. Good?
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, Kevin, for the people that are here at the facility in Bloomington, everybody's very happy, but I got to be honest with you, it really is quiet out here, and that's sort of how Curt Cignetti wants it. There's not going to be a watch party. The team got back here at 3 a.m. after their championship victory, and look, one of the things that he wants his team to do is stay humble and hungry. He said that is going to be the biggest challenge for them. He said that twice yesterday after their victory. It's almost like he was already preparing for the next game, which is obviously quite unlike Curt Cignetti, obviously. So again, not going to be a watch party today. It's going to be a quiet afternoon here. He might watch it with SID Jeff Keeg, but outside of that, it's going to be a quiet one here today in Bloomington. As we all know, this should be the #1 seed heading into the tournament.
Up at the lunch area, we saw some other guys from Indianapolis who are production dudes, and they are working for Big Ten. So we were interviewing the coach, and then the coach went up to them upstairs. And it's just really cool to see how this all comes together. Your production community, just like mine here in Indianapolis, is small. It's smaller than you think. And you need to make sure that you are treating the other production professionals with respect and dignity. Because you never know when you're going to need somebody, or someone's going to need you, or your equipment's going to go down and you need to beg, borrow, and rent. So just, you never know. And seeing that other crew just made me remember, it is a small production community.
Well, process driven, one day, one moment at a time, and then you get in at 5 a.m. and so you wake up and you don't have a lot of time to really think about it. But, it's people, plan, process, really. You got to have the right people, commitment from the top, the right guys in the locker room, assistant coaches obviously do a great job. Got to have a plan and a process, and without a commitment from the president and the athletic director, Pam Witt and Scott Dolson, this kind of stuff's not possible.
Coach, I said earlier, I don't have the vocabulary to describe just how impressed I've been with what you've been able to do in these past 2 seasons at Indiana. I didn't realize how good your defense was until watching them play last night. Can you speak a little bit about not just the game plan, but the execution you guys put on in that game against Ohio State?
Truly, our defense has been top-notch since 2019. Philosophically, we got a way we want to play and attack. Bryant Haynes does a great job. We really played well up front last night, put pressure on the quarterback, stopped the run in the first half. Ohio State scratched out some runs in the second half. But, it was a physical, heavyweight bout. And our defense stepped up, especially in the red area when Ohio State had some opportunities. And, it was a gut check and a great gutty win.
Coach Booger, I've been around a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of confident coaches. The one thing that sticks out to me is your confidence, your boldness, and your team plays that way. Just enlighten us. Where did that come from? How did that start?
It probably sort of evolved through the years of being the leader and having success. And as a leader, what's your vision, what's your expectation, what do you want to portray to the players, and what's your messaging? And I try to keep it simple but confident. And, if we prepare the right way and we have high standards and accountability, we put ourselves in the best position going on the field and play 1 to 150. We got to put it on the field, and the guys got to play the way you want them to play. Anything's possible.
During those live hits that we were doing, I was just making sure that my compressor was doing what it should, not over or under compressing. And the A33 makes it easy to check that, go to the screen and see some visual feedback. And I was also just making sure that the levels are staying right there between -20 and -12. That's where it needs to be, nice and hot. Listening a little bit to my camera return, a little bit to my ISO channel, a little bit to my main mix channel. Just listening closely, making sure that I'm not hearing background noise, make sure I'm not hearing anything weird, interference, stuff like that. So again, the job is to make it clean on the first take. You don't want to be the guy that's like, oh wait, we got to redo that for audio.
Coach, when you first got hired here in your opening press conference, you said you have a process, a blueprint, and that it would be successful anywhere. That has proven to be the case here as well. But I'm curious what makes this team different than any other that you've coached.
Well, I think this team learned from last year's setbacks, and we added some key pieces and had some huge wins, particularly on the road where the game went down to the wire and we came through. So we're battle-tested. We're confident when we're put in those kind of situations. And obviously, we got a really good quarterback that can beat you with his arm or legs.
And obviously, we still got some football ahead of us, but what about this group are you most proud of up to this point in the football season?
What I'm most proud about is the way they approach their work every day, how close they are, how committed they are. And I think what you saw against Ohio State is we have a fortitude and a resolve that we can win a heavyweight slugfest like that game was.
And now you've mentioned a couple of times about getting the guys humble, hungry, keeping them in that condition right before we see you guys again for the Rose Bowl. How do you present that challenge? How do you approach that?
Well, we got 3.5 weeks to get it done, right? So guys get to enjoy it today, and then we'll have a team meeting tomorrow at 4, go over the schedule, and I don't know, I'll figure it out.
Before I let you go, Fernando Mendoza, we might see his name become the Heisman winner. We might see him in New York holding that trophy up. Make your pitch. Why should he be the Heisman winner?
I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a lock. I don't have to give you a pitch, right?
There you go. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
That's a wrap on this one, and it was a great shoot. I love these shoots because, again, I just like variety in my schedule, and I like some of my shoots being like, live TV, some being corporate, some being narrative, some being documentary. I just like the variety. So days like this are great when you can come to a really awesome facility like this and work with great people. And it's actually a little simpler than other things because this one was pretty simple when you break it down. And anyway, I'm glad you stayed to the end. I'm glad that you're watching my videos. If you haven't seen other ones, check them out because I do a lot of this behind the scenes stuff. Feel free to comment below on anything you like or dislike about the video or questions you have about the way I'm doing things. And anyway, we will see you in the next one. Thank you.